So good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. We're going to talk about Krychenko. This guy, dear oh dear, he has done an interview with Piers Morgan, who has sat down with him for 41 minutes. I've watched the whole thing. I've taken mental notes of some of the BS that he was coming out with. And yeah, we're going to go through it. Make sure you do smash the like button, sub to the channel. The channel's flying. Big up to everybody. We're on 82.2. So thank you very much. Check out the video I dropped earlier about Declan Rice. Obviously, 80 million bids rejected. Since that video's come out, there is now stories that we're going to go back in with an imminent bid of 100 million. Why didn't we just bid 100 million then? These people make it up as they go along. Also, do go and check out the video I dropped earlier today as well, before the Rice video, about Kai Havertz. Yay! Let's go and sign Kai. Shai Havertz, let's go and sign him. Wow, unbelievable. And people think that Arsenal are a serious football club. If they were a serious football club, they wouldn't have allowed Alexander Zinchenko to sit down in London Colney, which it has been revealed it was. Piers Morgan's put it on his Instagram. It was in London Colney to do this interview, which is about politics. So I'm pretty sure that when Mesut Ozil was speaking about politics and people dying and atrocities that are going on allegedly in China, the football club dismissed and said, no, we want to stay out of this. You know, we distance ourselves from Ozil's claims and this and that. Now, what I find staggering is that the club haven't even come out and dismissed and stepped back from this. Why? Why have the club let Piers Morgan and his camera crew go into London Colney to allow Zinchenko, who's well entitled to his views, by the way. They're well entitled to his views. But the hypocrisy of this football club is just pathetic. We don't want politics in sport. Really? So you kick Ozil out for bringing politics into the club, into sport. But Zinchenko can do it. Right, okay. Is that because we were losing deals? I remember, I think it was Pro Evo Soccer. There was an Arsenal edition that was sold in China. Off the shelves, gone. We ain't selling that in our country anymore. And then I think that our Premier League game, I think it was against Manchester City, funny enough, they refused to show it. They refused to show it in that country. But now Zinchenko, a couple of years later, is allowed to sit down. They invite him into the Colney offices, tea and biscuits and all of that. The only surprise for me was Charlie Boy Watts and Ian Wright weren't there. Do you know what I mean? This football club is a sham. It is an absolute sham. Now listen, Zinchenko was in the interview. I'm going to read out. This is on the Guardian website. I'm just going to read some of this out. It goes on forever, so bear with me, people. Arsenal defender opens up on the crisis fundraising with Andrei Shevchenko in the August game for Ukraine charity match. Half an hour in Zinchenko's company, it was actually 41 minutes, is a harrowing experience. The Ukrainian spends most of the conversation blinking back tears and speaks with raw, unbridled passion about the horrors being inflicted allegedly by Russia. I am angry even now, the Arsenal player says. I'm even angry every single day because I really want to know what they are doing, what they want to achieve, to win what, which is kind of ironic because then way down the interview, he's then talking about land. So I think that's probably you've probably answered your own question there, mate, in the very first seconds. I hope this war is going to finish soon. And in the end, you're just going to think, wow, how many people have been killed? How many people have lost one in their circle? How many people have lost their houses, jobs or whatever? For what? I just really want to know. Well, maybe you can ask your mate Zelensky. Because he's mates with the Ukrainian Prime Minister. He's mates with him. Well, maybe you should ask him. I don't know. Let's continue. Barely a moment goes by when Zinchenko does not find himself thinking about an invasion. He is in London, a long way from conflict, but there is no escape from the mental trauma of knowing bombs are raining down on your compatriots every day. Zinchenko sees the images on the news, maybe stop watching it, scrolls through social media, maybe stay off of it and learn how to defend, and the sorrow threatens to consume him. Well, maybe stay off of it then, mate. The shocking destruction of, I don't know how to pronounce that, a dam, the latest devastating blow. He said, I was talking to some volunteers helping around there, he says, And the stories I heard, some people don't have the opportunity to leave their houses because the water is so high already. Some don't have the opportunity to go because they are quite old. I heard about one woman holding 2 babies born a few months ago. She was on a roof holding the last stone to survive. Fortunately, she didn't. She was with kids. He then goes on and says, Zinchenko turns away and asks, after being asked how he copes, he said, "Oh, please, don't get it in my head because I don't know if there is a moment that I can." It was then going waffling on about this game for Ukraine. They're both ambassadors for United 24. Said the game's important, blah, 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 blah. But listen, some of the other stuff I want to get into. Some of the stuff I want to get into. Where is it? Bear with me. Zinchenko marvels at Zelensky. "I am so proud of my president. The things he does are incredible. Watching the process from inside, the people around him, how they work is unbelievable. They don't stop. They don't stop. I had a tough schedule in Ukraine. Close to me were people from the president's office, and I was watching them." Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, but you don't know what this is all about. Okay, so you don't know what it's all about, but you're friends with the president. Okay, it's not making any sense, really, is it? It's not really making any sense. Where are we? Bear with me 1 second, people. Smash the like button up. Bear with me. I want to find this other one. Right, here we go. So, he also calls for Belarusian and Russian sports stars to be banned from competing at any high-level sport amid the war in Ukraine. Obviously, Russian invasion in 2022, February, sparked worldwide outrage from with national football team being banned from official UEFA competition, while athletes across the other sports were also sanctioned. Then carries on. Belarusian athletes were also punished due to Alexander Lukashenko's backing of Vladimir Putin's decision to invade. However, at Wimbledon tennis championship, Russian and Belarusian athletes are allowed to compete, providing they sign neutral declarations. This doesn't sit well with Zinchenko, who's now turned into a politician, who spoke passionately about why he believes a blanket ban on athletes from Russia and Belarus should remain. He said, "I don't agree with the decision. I am one of the Ukrainians who does not like to see them at the highest level in sport. They should not be allowed to compete. Why? Because how many bombs and rockets have been sent from Belarus? How many? I am not political." Why are you talking? Cheers, guys. Why are you talking then? I am not political. I don't understand anything about it. Maybe shut up then, mate. Maybe shut up then. And I would never understand it because this is not my area. But this is not political. So you've just contradicted yourself again. This is war. That statement right there tells you all you need to know about this guy. He is way, way, way out of his depth. He ain't got a Scooby what he's chatting about. Where do you think wars begin from, my friend? Politics. But this is not political. His words. His words. They're talking about not putting politics into sport, but this is not political. This is war. He says it again. Okay. Guys, you don't do anything to be on our side, on the justice side. Okay, cool. He then goes on. Asked if he would shake hands with a Russian or Belarusian athlete, Zinchenko said, "No chance. No chance, because I would never accept their reaction. I have to be honest. You can say, well, but they didn't do anything against us. But yes, they did. They did. How and what, he said. Yeah, they didn't react. But if no one is going to speak out, they'll get scared. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't ever call us brothers or whatever they like to call us in the past. Never again." Right? This guy has got a massive ego, man. I can't lie. This is the same guy, by the way. I can't remember. I'm going to get the name of the team up now. This is the same guy who sat in this Piers Morgan interview. If you don't bother wasting your time watching it, I can just tell you what happened in it now. But let me tell you right now, yeah, this guy was sat there saying that this has been going on since he was a kid, right? Since he was a kid. This is the same bloke that has said he would never shake hands with a Russian. He would never want them to play in elite level sport until this is all finished. This is the same guy who got paid to play 33 times for FK Ufa, which is Funny enough, a first division team in Russia. Is this guy on crack? Like, real talk, is he actually tapped? Sorry, I'm lying. They're a second division team. They finished 16th. They're a second division team. Is this guy all right? Is he actually all right? So you don't like any Russians at all, which I find baffling. How are you even saying that as an elite level footballer for a football team, that you are basically just being totally putting them all together and saying that they're all culpable? Like, I find this staggering. I can't believe the club ain't said anything. The way they treated Mesut Ozil on what he was saying, listen, he may or may not be right. I don't live in Ukraine. But funny enough, he's only visited once in 2 years. So he's watching what's on the news every day. Well, we know how that goes, don't we? We know how that goes. Yeah, he said he's spoken to a few people here and there. Cool. Well, let me tell you right now, my landlady's Ukrainian, and so is my next door neighbor. And the stories he's telling are completely opposite to the stories they're telling. So who's lying here? Are they both right? Maybe they're both right. Maybe in certain parts it's worse than others. I don't know. I'm not in Ukraine. But listen, anyone who's dying in any war, whether it be manufactured, not manufactured, whatever it may be, any single person who loses their life because of politics and stuff like this, or just in general, one is too many, right? But at the same time, read the room, mate. Yeah, read the room. The audacity to bracket every single Russian citizen or Russian national into the same bracket because of a government is insane. Imagine if I said that. Now imagine, yeah, Mesut Ozil gets kicked out of the football club, and it was big. There was two reasons he got kicked out. Number one, he was shit. Let's be real. Let's just put it on the table. He was shit, and he was nicking a fortune, right? But it was sparked by that conversation that he was saying about China, yeah? And from there, it just went down and down and down. Went down and down and down. Unai Emery stopped playing him. Mikel Arteta got rid of him. Well, is Mikel Arteta getting rid of him then? Or Arsenal Football Club getting rid of him then? Because if it's one rule for one, it's got to be one rule for everyone, right? There's no politics, apparently, in sport. This Alexander Zinchenko said it. The football club have said about the Ozil one, they want to step back. They want to step back from it. We're distancing ourselves from his comments. Why? Because they obviously don't want to get involved with politics in football. Or was it because they lost money, like I said earlier? But let's read out some of these. Yeah, because this is crazy. Yeah, but he's basically bracketed every single Russian national into the... He also said as well, this is how much of a child this guy is, by the way. This little Bart Simpson lookalike, yeah? This little Bart Simpson Krychenko, yeah, sitting there, right, saying, I unfollowed a high-profile sports star on Instagram. They asked me why. So I said, because you didn't speak to all of your millions of followers. Well, maybe you don't want to get fucking involved, mate. Yeah? Maybe you don't want to get involved. So basically, what he's saying is, we're the victims, which may or may not be the case. I don't know. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're expecting every single person to come out and say something to their followers that's Russian. Somebody that's Russian, a sports star, man or woman, you want every single one of them in a high-profile position to come out and condemn it. Maybe they're not interested, mate. Maybe they just want to get on with their lives. Yeah, maybe they're just knuckling down, getting on with their athletics career or their tennis career or whatever it may be, their footballing career. Yeah. And do you know what's crazy is Arsenal actually deleted a birthday post to Andrei Arshavin. They actually deleted it because of all the backlash on it. Is this where we're at? Genuinely, is this what we're doing in football? Yeah. It's a football game. Yeah. It's about elite level athletes competing to see who's the best. Right, let's read some of this crap out. Piers Morgan's tweeted this out. Any Arsenal fan who doesn't support Zinchenko about the Ukraine war right now should be ashamed of themselves. Well, mate, he don't even support him himself. He's been back once, and why ain't he fighting? Why ain't he gone front line? Why ain't he saying, do you know what? Arsenal, I got bigger fish to fry. Yeah? Got bigger fish to fry, mate. I'm going to go and help my fellow countrymen, and I'm going to fight. Yeah, back in World War II, they couldn't get there quick enough. But now he's got the audacity to sit there and say, I'm more helpful from the UK. His words, I'm more helpful from here. How? How are you more helpful from England? How is that even possible? Surely you'd be more helpful going to battle, going to war, going to support your country that you're so passionate about and speaking vividly, and like you've got all the memories and you're seeing it all over the news. Surely if you've got any fucking decorum, yeah, and any self-awareness and a self-respect, yeah, you'd either stop talking, yeah, or you'd go to battle. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And this is happening at Arsenal Football Club's football training ground. Now let's go through the next one. Oh yeah, that was another thing I wanted to say. Not only that, he plays in a country, yeah, he plays in a country that has invaded 90% of the world. Does he care about that? Cheers. I prefer not to speak. This guy is a clown. He's an absolute clown, but I knew that. I knew that when he started doing huddles and getting nutmegged and crying. Yeah, I know all of that. He also said he's a very emotional person. Well, we'd never have guessed, mate. We've seen you crying all year. Where are we? See this tweet earlier. Where is it? Ukraine isn't the first country to be invaded, and it won't be the last. Who decides which war should or shouldn't be covered within football? This is why they should all be kept out of it rather than selectively involving when it suits. Absolutely nail on the fucking head. Yeah. So we're doing. Maybe this is why we were trying to sign Mudryk, because this is the stuff this football club's doing with the PR and all of that. Maybe that was why we were trying to sign Mudryk. So we got 2 Ukrainians at the club. We stand with Ukraine. Okay, cool, good one, whatever. Yeah. But to do this interview, invite them to the football training ground. And they're going to have been briefed on what it's going to be talking about. This football club stinks. Yeah, it absolutely stinks. Yeah, and listen, Alexander Zinchenko, I don't know whether he's got people. He said that he's had nobody extremely close to him pass away, but he knows people through other people that have passed away. That's tragic. Yeah, that is genuinely tragic. Yeah, and I feel for him. Yeah, but let's not kid ourselves here. We've all had people that have passed away during the COVID times. And I better not say what I want to say on that. Yeah, because in my opinion, yeah, no, I'll save it. But you know where I'm going with it. Yeah, at the end of the day, any war, whether it's guns, whether it's other things, yeah, is not nice. I get it. But at the same time, the amount of money that is being thrown at Ukraine, when you actually compare the amount of deaths that have happened, it don't really add up to me. I can't lie. Yeah, do the figures yourself. Just Google it. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff out there. There's plenty of research you can do. And I was doing a lot of it last night. Yeah, and the fact and reality is, this is a football club. If he wants to be a politician, quit football and go and be a politician. Yeah, if he wants to go and, talk about, fighting and this and that and the war and it's tragic and it's, well, go and pick up a shooter, mate, and go yourself. Yeah, I don't see him on the front line while he's sitting in his posh house in London on 150, 200 grand a week. Yeah, playing football twice a week, while all of these fellow countrymen are losing their lives. I've seen many videos, by the way. Many videos, by the way. More so than I have seen on what he's saying. Now, I'm not saying that's not happening, what he's saying. But the videos I've seen, looks like life's normal. Kiev was buzzing the other night. I've seen people in nightclubs. I've seen people in McDonald's. Yeah, the cleanest McDonald's I've ever seen, by the way. I've seen people just doing what they're doing. I'm not seeing any of this. Like I said, the stories I've been told from my neighbour and my landlady, oh my day, is completely different. But again, who am I? Who am I to judge? I'm not there. I'm not in the nitty gritty with it. I'm only replying to this Piers Morgan interview. And for me, he just needs to concentrate on fucking defending. Yeah, learn how to defend. Yeah, and if you want to go and defend your country, quit football and go and defend your country, mate. Not difficult, is it? Oleg Luzhny, by the way, a former Ukrainian player that played for us, put his managerial career on hold to go and fight frontline. But we've got this guy sitting with Piers Morgan. Yeah, where was Piers Morgan's outrage, by the way, when this was happened? When Mesut Ozil, because he was well against what Mesut Ozil did, well against it. well against it. So why is he now initiating this? Why is he now putting this out, calling people that they're a disgrace and all of this if they don't back and support him? Mate, he's not even supporting himself. Yeah, he could literally go to war if he wanted to. He could call himself up to war, but he won't. He won't, and we already know he won't. So it is what it is. But listen, he's a hypocrite. He doesn't like Russians, but he'll take Russian money when they pay for him to play football. He won't shake hands with a Russian, though. So if Andrei Arshavin ever gets invited to Arsenal Football Club, that's going to be a sticky situation. What about Alexander Kleb, Belarusian? What happens then? 2 players that are 10 times better than he'll ever be, by the way. Yeah, I find it staggering. Yeah, the lack of self-awareness and the fact that Arsenal have allowed it has triggered me more than what he's actually doing and what he's saying. But there were so many things you can pick apart in his argument. He's saying this is not political. This is war. Well, how does a war start? Via politics. You don't want politics in sport. His words. But this is not political, it's war. Well, how do you start a war? Via politics, mate. So there's a contradiction in the first fucking sentence. The guy is literally just a clown. He's a clown. If he cared that much, go and fight on the front line, mate. But he don't. Others have, other sportsmen and women, other athletes, over 262 different Ukrainian athletes have lost their lives. Maybe that's why he don't want to go. I don't know. But listen, it is what it is. Let's see if the club distance themselves, which we know they won't because it's selective, like the rainbow mob. You know, they've changed their PFP to that. But yeah, they want to keep politics out of sport. Of course they do. Unless it's unless it's a white European man that's talking about it. Yeah, cool. So if it's a white European man talking about it, that's fine. But if it's a Muslim man talking about it, or anyone mentions in Palestine and all of that, yeah, all of a sudden, oh no, we don't want to get involved. Oh, we're distancing ourselves from all of this, mate. We're distancing ourselves from all of this. Can't mention that. Can't mention Palestine. Can't mention China. No. But a Ukrainian can sit and mention Russia. Cool. Yeah, the hypocrisy of this football club. Stick to playing fucking football. Stick to trying to win in titles. Yeah, stick to signing players. Stick to running a football club. If you want to be a politician and you want to be a political movement, fold the football club, yeah, and sell it up as a political movement, or better still, all fuck off and do it somewhere else. It's my football club. It's your football club. We do not want this in our game. Yeah, all of these little virtue signaling little fucking, when you're watching a game that's got a flag in the corner next to the score. We don't care. I'm not tuning in for that. If I wanted to, I'd get brainwashed by the fucking news. Anyway, I'm getting angry now. I'm going. Goodbye. Have a lovely evening. Big up to everyone who's subscribed. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think on it. Maybe you've got a different outtake on it, a different look. I don't know. Yeah, but for me, listen, he may or may not be right. But for me, there was a lot of lies in there, a lot of lies. And just a lot of fucking lack of self-awareness. And the football club enabling this is a disgrace. Yeah, it is a disgrace, especially when what they did to Ozil. Yeah, it's either one rule for all or that's it. It's not one for him and one for him because he's a different colour to him. It's not how it works, mate. And Arsenal, by the way, do have a zero tolerance policy on any form of discrimination. It's on their website. Zero tolerance policy on discrimination. Well, it's just discriminated every single Russian national on the planet. Where's the outrage? It is what it is, people. The double standards, the hypocrisy, the virtue signaling, the absolute audacity of this football club to try and be kind, be nice. Yeah, they're only after your money, mate. Only after your money and to virtue signal to get more fans on board from different backgrounds, races and creeds, yeah, and genders. That's all they want because they want your fucking money. This football club has turned into an absolute disgrace. Yeah, a disgrace. Anyway, have a wonderful evening and leave your comments down below. I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be another Declan Rice update. Woohoo! Yay! I thought it was at match point, but obviously not. But anyway, adios, goodbye, ciao. Everyone out.